Hello, everyone. This is I think, third episode of the Zero's Political Hellscape recorded debates series. Current topic, I guess, is just generally California, but mainly the topic of California seceding from the Union and what consequences/benefits that will bring. So,
I was unaware of this.
you were unaware of this because you never go on this server.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I don't pay
You're not a
attention.
regular.
I just drop in whenever the hell I feel like it. I feel like it today, and I feel like I'm going to be bullied.
Whatever.
I know I'm going to be bullied.
Don't worry, Craig's also a voice on here, even though he's also the butt recording this, but I'm gonna stop being self-aware. Yeah.
Oh god,
we need to get Logan on here too. That way we can have two Trump supporters, one of them more insane than the other. But yeah, no, California's seceding from the Union. What are your thoughts on that? If it's gonna happen.
Who's going first?
Not me, because I want to change things up.
I don't want to go first. Scares me. I can check who's online. He just hasn't joined yet. Odson's online. GI's online. So we have imagine having
nerds online, but Rusty said specifically that he's not informed in politics at all.
Okay. Well, having a fascist on this issue would be nice.
I don't know, he's never serious about anything ever.
Yeah, I mean... Have you heard
Thank
me
God,
half the time
because he's a fascist, but the closest thing we have to him is Logan. I'm an asshole.
I can tell. So Odson is online. He's just playing Hearthstone. And unless oh no, I'm just going fucking crazy. We cannot hear you. Oh god, who is?
Hello?
Hello.
Nice. Okay, now we got the other person. California seceding from the Union. Someone start, because I'm not going to start.
I'm not starting.
I think no.
Okay, actually, Holden wants to start.
Alright, I'll be right back real quick. Just give me 1 minute.
I was muted. I mean...
Yeah, this is starting out smoothly, everyone.
Definitely.
I've said let's start 3 times.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay. Cool. So...
Shut up.
We'll wait for the other one to get back. I'm back. Alright.
Okay.
I will now begin. Okay. Why shouldn't California become independent? Based on the principles the founding fathers had for declaring independence, we have, although it's only 20-something% of the population that likes the idea of secession, we have in my opinion, the same ideas to secede. Well, we would succeed in seceding. We have...
I said, but Tish. Just continue.
Okay. We have, the 6th largest economy. We have 40 million people, which is more than it's the biggest state by population.
Exactly.
That's probably why the U.S. won't let us secede.
Yeah, it's unrealistic because of that. And
no.
Well, he's also saying
about I didn't say it was realistic. I, in fact, don't think it's going to happen. I don't think
it should happen because my allegiance is to the United States of America, not just California. I put me as an American over being a Californian first. Yeah, and we're way too crucial.
Kind of change.
We're way too crucial to American supremacy and being number one. if we leave, because California provides so much to America. We're
And see,
Hollywood.
what
We
I would say
provide
to that
so
is
much
we
money.
provide so much, but what do we get?
Okay, well, even if we were to,
Military protection.
even if we were to leave,
in
exactly,
agreement with what other countries get.
exactly. Even if we were to leave, what would unite Californians? We're very, very.
We kind of all hate each other.
Yeah, there's nothing to unite Californians. It's
When you really
very.
think about it, a lot of the north half of the state is very not liberal.
Yeah.
And the bottom half is very liberal. I think maybe if we split, but I doubt that's going to happen, then maybe that would work. Like the southern half of California seceding.
We secede from the Union, we'll be able to take over California. Easier to take over California because we're such a mess.
Yeah, and I think the biggest problem is I don't know what California would do when it comes to defending itself, because I doubt
Someone
the
keeps
United
breathing
States
through the
would be
mic.
willing to defend someone. That's probably
Hey, Holden, I think you're breathing through the mic.
Yeah, it's really
Bad.
loud.
Yeah, sorry. I'll try to fix that.
Okay.
Yes, am I.
Okay, I moved my mic away.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think. I think it would be. I don't think the United States would be willing to defend a country that just, or the state, I guess, that just seceded. I think they would offer military protection. I think, especially if
I
this
wouldn't
happens
accept
when Trump is in
military.
office.
As someone I was talking to in photography mentioned, and Logan, you heard me talk very loudly. Anyway, I'm a very loud talker.
We know.
Anyway, yeah, he said a lot of like what we were talking about. A lot of like the guns we get are from the Sun Belt. Yeah.
What?
So like Texas and the southern states.
Okay.
Texas, Arizona,
So
New
what's that?
Mexico.
How does that relate to?
Yeah.
Topic?
He said defending. Well, I don't know. Like
You know
most
what?
states would do is what his
Texas can
point
be
was.
independent too.
Well, what are we defending ourselves from?
Exactly.
Everyone.
I feel like if California had time to establish a military, we could definitely at least somewhat take on Mexico. We obviously wouldn't win against the United States. I mean, who could though? But if
But here's the thing though. Like California is very, very closely connected with Mexico. That's why
Yeah.
the California officials and senators and whatever don't even want border. They want, because they're getting too much money from all the illegal immigration. And
Yeah, I don't
So-
think the higher ups would be willing to sour a state with Mexico for us to actually expand. If you ignore that fact, then yeah, California could try to take over Mexico, but would they be willing
I'm not
to
saying
do
it
that?
could,
Yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
saying it could defend itself.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Because
We're lucky.
somebody asked, who are we defending ourselves from? And if
I don't think
Possible
anyone would
invasion.
The
want.
United States, because they'll take us back as soon as we secede, probably. I
Even
mean,
if
I
they
don't
didn't,
know.
The
I
only
can't.
person we
possibly any of our enemies, like if relations sour with North Korea again, them, China, Russia, any of them could try to take over California, because the United States would be less willing to help someone who's just seceding against them. And if they manage to take over California, then they have at least some sort of control over this side of the hemisphere, even if it would probably easily be stomped out by the United States. I think no matter what, it would end up with the United States just taking California back over. Just how it happened would either Russia, China, or North Korea takes it over, and then America takes it back over, or just America.
I would find it incredibly hard to believe that Russia or China would try to take over California, because A, that would be seen as a terrible act of aggression, and that would be very imperialist of them, which most of the world is pretty against that.
Yeah, I'm saying maybe, probably not. Like, this is the only options. Like, California gets taken back over.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Hold on. Where do I post like a picture?
Probably in debate 1 text.
Okay.
Also, that book that your dad gave you, Holden. Holy shit!
No, that wasn't my dad. That was my dad's brother.
All right, if you look at that, you can look how much California provides to the United States. I don't think they would never let us, and we're talking about the scenario if we
That's
do.
a lot of the GDP. That's like wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
We
a lot.
provide
Let me
a
click it.
lot.
So not only
It's
would we
fair.
really, really cripple the United States, which I care about because I care, and a lot of other
Oh, I love it, but,
Californians care about the economic prosperity of the United States. It would just, it's really, really, I think it's a really
Yeah, let's see
stupid
that
idea
Texas.
as an American because I care about America as a whole, all 50 states. And I think we should all stay united. I think it's a ridiculous idea.
Okay. I disagree with you, but obviously I disagree with you. I think it'd be no. Okay, there are people in the United States. I was about to say I think it'd be wonderful if the economy was crippled because then they'd be weak. But at the same time,
Why
there
would you
are
want
people
the
who would suffer.
economy to be crippled?
And that's why I
your own
don't. That's
country
why I
fail.
did not say that. That's
Yes,
why
you
I'm
did.
saying. That's why I'm explaining why I did not want to say that because, like, there are people in California or in the United States that suffer because of that, and that's pretty much why I'm not like fully advocating for that.
That's really, really sad.
So that's a fair
fully
point.
advocating. Oh my god.
It doesn't matter what your political position
Anarchist.
is. The fact that you want our country to fail economically is pretty sad.
I have nothing against the United States. I'm just very supportive of California. Like, I don't. I'm not the one saying that I want their economy to suffer. Like,
Yeah, that's like there's way too extreme, and then you just like cross that line.
supreme anarchist levels.
Yeah, I mean, I think California seceding, it just hurts everyone. Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
no one, it hurts everyone. Hurts
Even
California,
Californians.
hurts
like-
America.
Wow, congratulations, you're not an American. What now? There's more
Yeah.
negative than positive.
Yeah. There might even be some sort
The
of revolt.
negatives would be temporary, though.
Okay, and what,
Like,
what would
there's
be
some
the
sort of
eventual
revolt.
positive?
Think about how. Just look at California's location. It takes up the majority of the Pacific coast for the United States. Obviously, Alaska is a lot, but it's frozen up there. And we have big cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco and San Diego.
Which wouldn't function without the government and authority of the United States.
But those would still be big trading cities, especially in the Pacific. Okay. And
America still is.
we would be able to offer different tariffs and prices for everything than the United States because we would be functioning on a much smaller scale. And I think that would create jobs because of just how everything would have to work. Because more people would need to be employed to work that on such a smaller scale or a larger scale.
I mean, that's a cool
Okay.
theory.
Not gonna lie,
But, I
I
mean-
missed half of that because my phone's being weird.
In the event that it actually does happen, I think it'll be much more chaotic than that. And you're talking about in the long run, but I don't think the long run will be. Oh, geez. Well, I think the long run will result in it becoming United States territory once again. That's what I think.
But yes, there's
That's
literally
what
the
it is.
only way we can talk about it is the hypothetical that America doesn't just take it back over.
And that's the
That's the way we
hypothetical
can
that I'm
talk
going
about
off
this.
of. Because
And it's a very unlikely hypothetical, one to the point where I think it's an interesting thought experiment, but I don't know if it's one word.
hold on. By the way, when I say secede, I don't mean like the Confederate like Civil War. I mean like it democratically secedes,
Oh,
which is an entirely different loophole.
that would
Yeah, that's
never
why
happen.
I figure that's why, like, maybe the economy won't be as crippled because then there would be enough time. And I don't know anything about this, but there'd probably be enough time to, like, say, build their economy. Maybe
Because
stuff
I
would be
know that
moved.
a civil war we would lose.
Civil War is
Okay.
stupid.
Like,
Well, let me
Yeah.
ask you this. Let me
So
ask you this. In your hypothetical, if California were to succeed, would the citizens of California, no longer being under the United States Constitution, have their amendment rights and all the rights that they had under the United States government? Because
could-
if they don't,
I didn't hear the
then-
full question.
He was asking, would the full benefits of the Constitution and Bill of Rights be provided to Californian citizens?
I think it depends on, like, okay, you all know me as not being liberal. Okay, California's a liberal state. I'm sure we would change some things. But as far as like basic human rights and things like the freedom of speech and of religion and like everything, I do think that we should have the Second Amendment. I'm saying like in the independent California, I don't still exist. I would support that it would still exist, but I'm sure some things would be changed. But for the most part, everything would remain the same, constitutional rights-wise, like the Bill of Rights-wise.
Yeah, the only thing I can see them, I don't think even the higher ups in the California government would be crazy enough. I'd say the only thing they would take away might be the Second Amendment. If
yeah,
they
there's a
reword
reason
it
why
so they
we're
can-
the only country that has all these amendments and rights. No one has freedom of speech like we do. We've gone over this in previous debates. It's because we established it in a time where political corruption wasn't as preeminent as it is now, obviously. So,
And also because when the freedom of speech was given, it was right after a period when the freedom of speech was being limited.
Yeah.
Like, and I think even like as people who live in California who like, even as Americans, if California succeeded, I think we would still view that as like a basic right that you should be allowed to say whatever you want. Like, I don't think that would change either. No matter if our freedom of speech is being limited right now, which it isn't. I think that would still stay the same.
well, I'm going to tell you one thing. I think there would be mass immigration away from California.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there would be.
Well,
like the northern half of the
that
state
would have a
in
huge
population.
impact. That would have a huge impact on the job economy.
Yeah, all those new jobs might not have anyone to fill.
Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that. And I think that's something that just you have to expect, because if you look historically at other independence movements across the history of the world, there is always mass migration. In the American Revolution, for example, the Loyalists fled to Canada. For most of them, some of them stayed, but the most part, most of them fled to Canada, and then Canada stayed loyal to the UK even up to today. Like, or Canada stayed loyal to the UK even to today because Queen Elizabeth is still like their head of state or something. It's a whole nother topic.
I don't really know what there is to really talk about. I mean, we're talking a hypothetical. There's not much of a debate. We just kind of say
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just
what if.
it's just
I mean, it's a fun conversation though.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's something that would never happen. But yeah,
Yeah, Holden, you also mentioned us talking about why California is so awesome. Maybe that was.
We have a lot of problems, but
we have a lot
we
of
have-
problems.
oh yeah,
We have
we
a lot
have
of
a
problems.
lot of problems.
We have a lot of problems.
But I feel like
We
a
have a
lot
lot
of
of
that could be
problems.
revised. And because a lot of it's just legislative problems. Like,
I think a lot of it is cultural problems
yeah.
that
I
legislation
think-
can't change.
See,
Yeah.
I disagree. I think a lot of it legislation can change.
I think California is too big.
Big dumb.
I don't think that it's reasonable that we'll ever split, but California's too big. Also, one thing we did ignore in the California versus the California seceding was what would happen to the political state of America when the Democratic Party basically loses
Oh,
their most important,
That's a good one.
Think about
Yeah.
because that basically means Republicans, unless Democrats take over Texas, which they might.
Okay,
then-
here's kind of a controversial opinion. I feel like Texas could sway blue. I'm not saying like California
Oh, no.
blue.
Well, that's
That's not
predicted in the next
controversial.
5 years.
Yeah,
No,
that's
but Hold on.
controversial. That's true. It could.
It's very,
Like-
very sad reality.
I'm saying it could sway blue like Pennsylvania blue within like the next 2 decades.
Oh yeah,
Because-
absolutely.
Like
It probably will.
Texas
is going to go purple.
identity.
like
is gonna-
Beto was a big sign. Like even though some people call him a closet Republican, like the fact that like I think 40 something, I think it was like 43, 47% of Texans who voted for him is kind of a sign that even if they're moving for a more centrist Democrat or more Republican type Democrat, they're still moving towards the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I
And
agree
what's
with that.
what's the end goal in your eyes?
What's the what?
What's the end goal?
The end goal of what?
What do you want them to move towards?
Oh, Texas?
Well, you seem, yeah, Texas.
Oh.
You seem happy that they're moving more left. What's the end goal for you?
I do not care about Texan politics. I just think it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same
And I-
camp.
Like Texas is very. It's not even really American. It's Texan.
It's Texas.
yeah.
Meets a sport.
It's just Texas. I feel like they're gonna do what they're gonna do no matter what. And I only started talking about Texas because somebody else asked how American politics would change, and then how the Democrats
Yeah.
could win if only they took over.
Yeah,
But you also
that's-
have to think that the Electoral College would change drastically, because then 55 votes are going to have to be redistributed.
Yeah,
Like the House of Representatives is still going to have 435 people in it. It's just Texas is going to get most of the 55 because of their massive population, which is
Yeah.
like still less than ours by a long shot, but they're still going to get a lot more and become the most populated
Yeah.
in the House of Representatives and in
and then it would be how fast can Democrats take over Texas, and
Yeah.
how long can Republicans keep Texas? That would be what American politics was about.
Yeah.
That-
Well, I also feel like if the Democrats can keep places like the Rust Belt in Pennsylvania and Iowa is a very important state in terms of electoral politics. But yeah, Texas would be the big topic for probably a decade and a half.
Yeah, it would be like until it was decided, it would be basically the only topic. It would be
And
really strange.
I have a couple family members in Texas, and they say that places like Houston, like the big cities and urban areas, are very liberal.
Yeah.
Which is not something you typically hear about, but then at the same time, you're like, oh, big cities are always liberal.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty
that's kinda
much.
how it goes. Like everywhere except like Wyoming. All the big cities are. Oh, there's many
Because
big cities in Wyoming.
it's run by corporate
Yeah.
advertisements, business. I mean, it's
I
just
don't-
run by corporate, and
I
corporate
kind of
leans
agree
left.
with you. I don't think that it's because of the corporations. I think that it's because of how many corporations there are and how many people to jobs that attracts, and that just makes the place more diverse.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the right can't be diverse. I'm just saying that typically the Democratic Party is the more diverse party.
Yeah. Yes. How it's been for the longest time. As long as we've all been alive.
For a stupid reason, but yeah.
Hmm.
There's literally no racial discrimination on the right, or at least
Yeah.
from mainstream Republican. And we're not talking
Nope.
about tiny groups of white
Did you say-
supremacist
did you-
neo-Nazis.
Did you say no racial discrimination on the right?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
fuck! Here we go.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead. Right.
Oh, no,
I'm
I'm
willing
just
to-
I mean, maybe.
We're
Maybe
talking
not
about
as
Mark,
much
I guess we'll
as
have to
I
do this
think.
to you.
racial discrimination, not, well, this guy looked at him weird, or, you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about facts.
Yeah, because I look at everyone.
Yeah,
Facts
I-
and feel.
I ignore
Facts and
race.
Facts
logical-
don't care about your feelings.
There's no
Facts only care about my feelings.
no legislation that is discriminated against racial people of any kind.
I mean, I wasn't saying like legislative wise. I was
Okay,
mainly
then how,
thinking-
then how is it discriminative? in other
I
ways.
was thinking. I mean, a lot of people probably like Ben Shapiro. I can't say he's not racist.
He's
I can't
Jewish.
say he's like super racist either. But
How
you
can you
think
say
he-
he's racist? Support him being racist. Go.
Yeah,
Do
go. Do it.
I don't know. He's just overall a very insensitive person.
What?
How? You just keep making the accusations and claims. Come on, back one of them.
Can't-
Back one of them up.
Maybe I'm more.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm more educated in how he debates rather than
Again,
generally
if someone
what
who is insensitive is racist, then I'm racist because I'm.
Okay, that's not what I said. I
I know,
said
but
he's,
the only
yeah,
thing
okay,
you
I
gave
see how
for
you
being
could think.
racist and sensitive.
I see how you
I'm
could. Yeah.
insensitive. I really okay. Like
Why do all the shitty things I say happen to only be on this specific debate?
Because this is
Discord?
the only place you say things.
Yes, that's weird because like I
normally
say,
you're smarter.
I'm
than me.
able to hold my own in an argument usually.
Yeah, because the other
Normally
person
you're
isn't
smarter.
knowledgeable, and then you come
No,
in here.
literally,
you have
it's an
actual
entire other
knowledge
Discord server of people that know what
because
they're
it's
talking
an echo
about.
chamber.
I feel
It's
like
not
you're-
echo chamber because there are a lot of fascists on there actually.
It very well could just be because maybe we're smarter. than
Maybe
them?
because-
I don't want to assume that, but
Mark,
You're not.
Mark,
but-
you probably think you're smart when you're debating fascists. Because
No,
they're
it's not. I don't
fascists.
even usually debate the fascists. There are a lot of ANCAPs. There are a lot of mutualists. There are a lot of
see,
there
there's
are a lot of socialists too, but there are also a lot of
See more
right-wingers.
stupid
It's an echo
people.
chamber.
exactly.
It's
Those
not a
are all
debate. You guys are
stupid
basically
people.
the same thing.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
like-
saying there's a decent amount of people. Primarily, though, if I actually look,
Yeah, I think it's also because I know, at the very least, with the things I identify as, they're not very confining. So you don't like right libertarian. That's not very specific. Like that can be so many different things. You don't really know what to expect. I'm a fucking fireball.
there are 14 ANCAPs on here. There are 10 fascists. There are 13
Oh,
There's 10
conservatives.
fascists on this? Oh, I thought you were talking.
No, other server. We only have
13
one fighter.
conservatives. There are 13 right libertarians and decent amount of liberals. Basically, all across the political spectrum, there are a lot of people.
Didn't you
Diversity.
specifically say you didn't debate the fascists? Do you debate the other groups?
Well, no, I'm saying like there are a lot of fascists on here, but most of the time it's right wingers and some weird Christian people.
On here.
Not on
No,
here.
no,
that's,
on a-
One.
I mean,
Oh.
I think isn't right libertarian like one of our biggest tags? I think that's like
Yeah,
it's
it
up
is.
there.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
we
whenever
have-
you say you're libertarian but you believe in capitalism, Mark puts you as a libertarian.
Well, no,
I mean-
well, you've described yourself as right libertarian. That's
Yeah, like in
The
my case, I
frickin-
literally am. Yeah.
At least you're not off right, you know? Like,
I'm probably off.
Yeah.
Right.
of course you are. It's quite obvious that you're
both.
off right.
I'm
I
both.
don't know.
I like both.
I'm proud of America sometimes. I'm.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't like the government.
When everything's going
I
good,
hate my government.
when everything's going good, everything's stable, I'm right lib, and then when it's troubling times, possibly war times, off right. So, but I'm sure it's the same for the people.
When it's war times.
And of
I'm
course,
going
here I am,
lines.
full on far lib left, just freaking out
Yeah.
off the compass.
I think. Yeah. You
Um,
don't
so you guys-
belong here.
You guys want to change the topic because we're kind of just like dark.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
kind
now
of-
we're
what
just-
kind of
now we're
shit
just
am I
agreeing.
marking out?
We're in the weird off
So,
section.
do you guys think
Yeah.
Donald Trump's gonna get reelected?
here's the thing.
Does Bernie win the Democratic?
I think it depends on who gets the Democratic nomination.
Let's
If
say it's
Bernie,
Biden.
then
Let's say it's
If
Biden.
it's
I
Biden,
think Trump can take over Biden.
I
think
think
Trump
Trump
wins.
could take Biden. If
I
it's
don't
Bernie,
think Trump can take Sanders.
that's. I don't. I think.
I think
Bernie
Trump
would win.
takes Biden and Sanders.
I don't think
Sanders
Here's
is-
why.
Trump takes Sanders.
Hold on. Let me explain why I think Bernie would beat Trump.
You're cutting
In
out.
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
In the Rust Belt states, which are very important to Trump winning 2016, he has a very low approval rating, like it's negative. and Bernie has a pretty high approval rating in those states. And even in some states that I can't remember what states exactly, but there are certain states where it's weird how Bernie's kind of super popular. And if he wins these states, and even if he just wins everything that Hillary Clinton won, plus like 2 or 3 states, he wins the presidency. Like,
All right. Well,
Just-
I don't
he
think
needs
this
to
is who
win,
we want to
like-
win. It's who we think we're going to win, and I think Bernie would win.
yeah,
you
I
wait.
might
You
want
think
Trump
Bernie
to
would win?
Yeah,
I
I
think-
think Bernie
All right.
would.
Here's why I
want
think
Trump,
Bernie wouldn't
but,
win.
You know,
Because
Yeah.
because a lot of the Democratic candidates are Democratic, not socialist. He's a Democratic socialist, and in American
not.
terms, that's
He's
yes,
not
he
a
is. Well, okay,
socialist.
okay, okay.
He's
well,
not a
whether-
socialist. He's never a
Whether
socialist.
you
He was
say
never.
he is or not, it's his label. All right.
Yeah. I agree
That's
with you on that.
still-
Like, it's
still his
definitely his
label.
label.
And whether it's Americanized or not, it's still quote unquote the word socialism.
he is
And
farther
that's-
left. to the
And
Democratic
in American standards, that's too extreme for America, in my opinion, because the average liberal isn't going to be all go Hillary, go Hillary. Oh, now go Bernie, go Bernie. Go from a Democratic
The thing
candidate
is, I think
to
you
a
severely
Democratic
underestimate
socialist candidate.
how many Sanders supporters there are.
It's too divisive in the Democratic grouping.
I don't know. The whole.
Okay, I think this
Yeah.
is kind of a weird. I think what we can all agree on is Biden will lose, because I think one thing that
Because
might
he's a
happen
pedophile.
is okay, not going that
I
far.
also
but
think just it's really going to be a telling sign for who the Democrats nominate, because if they go with Biden, that means they want to stick with the more traditional, centrist, right of center Democrat. But if they go with Bernie, then they're going for a whole new age. Like, it will be a defining point for the century and the party as a whole.
absolutely.
And I think that's going to be very important to the rest of American politics,
I
because
think it'll be
either
very important
A-
to the rest of politics everywhere.
either A, we'll see status quo, right wing, center, or we're going to see the right wing and an actually left wing president.
Okay.
I'm
We're not going to get
saying-
into. We're not going to get into like if Bernie is left right now.
I'm saying he's left. He's left of center, but
Yeah,
I'm not
he's
saying
further
he's, like,
left than the rest of American politics.
I'm not saying he's like as left as you or me, Mark. I'm just saying he's like,
Of course, I know. I mean, just see.
Yeah.
What if Bernie Sanders was an ANCOM?
I wouldn't vote for him.
He wouldn't be running for
win.
president.
That too. He'd
Yeah.
also probably be dead. Like, honestly, like that much stress.
Just
on
here's the
guys
thing with Bernie. He's just in American standards and American ideals. He's too extreme. And
I don't
he's
think
too,
so.
The Overton
he'll be
window's
too
small,
divisive
though.
to the Democratic Party.
see, I don't think
So
he's like. How can you say
We're
he's
okay
too
with
extreme
that.
when he's gained this much support?
Yeah.
Like, obviously,
okay,
that's a
where's
very
the support?
subjective thing. He's got 1 million supporters already. Like, he's gained.
Okay,
gained
but
a
we're
million.
talking about whether he can beat Donald Trump.
Yeah, and I think he can.
I think he can.
Like, I think there are enough Sanders supporters. Like, look anywhere. Like, I think he can. I think he can take on. I don't want him to take him down. I would prefer
He's a
Trump over
very
Bernie,
strong
but
candidate.
yeah,
Did you,
I
if
think
you watched his Fox News town hall, which, by the way, he was the only Democrat to go on Fox in 2016, and so far as of this election year. Like,
All right, well,
he's brave or stupid. I haven't figured it out yet. And the more he does it, the more I'm thinking he's brave.
the fact that this is a proven fact. This isn't even a conspiracy theory that the DNC election was rigged from Bernie to Hillary
Yeah, we know that.
is proof that the Democratic elites don't have trust enough in him to win to run him as a primary. So what they know more than the common person. So what do they know that he can't win than that we don't know? I mean,
Because
that's just saying that his own party doesn't have the belief in that he can win.
it wasn't a belief. It was because Hillary took over the DNC and she basically forced herself to take over the role of the party. It was because the whole organization was corrupt. That's why she won. It didn't have anything to do with the actual people in the party. It's because Hillary's not a good person.
Well, I think that's
Yeah, I
sort
mean,
of
both.
it,
I mean, they were both sketchy when the 2016 elections were happening.
Yeah, just Hillary was a bit more. Yeah, she had a bit more like actual like. Wow, this is
Okay.
like she stole the spot from Bernie. Like that's. I think that's a bit more than paying off. And
I don't think it'll happen. I think Bernie's too weak.
I think just based on the fact that Hillary didn't win, and that was mostly because the Bernie supporters, the Sanders supporters pulled out because they were unhappy with how corrupt she was. I think that's enough to just be.
And the left is on this crazy identity train. Why would they even want to run a white straight old guy when they always hate on old white guys? We have too many old white guys in office. We need a woman. We need a person of color. We need a trans person in power. Yes.
I argue that they don't. Again, like Biden's the biggest candidate. Again, they say that, but they don't do what
Yeah,
they
well,
say.
it's suicide if they run Biden. He has way too much dirt on him, and it's not even like a conspiracy video I sent. Like it's mainstream.
Yeah,
That he's literally a pedophile.
again, can we all agree Biden would not win?
Biden would
Yeah,
lose.
Biden wouldn't win.
Here's how hellbent the DNC is on, not necessarily the DNC, but the Democratic is on diversity. I saw an article saying that yes, Pete Buttigieg is gay, but he's also a white male.
Yeah.
And it's like he's still a minority. Like
Yeah, even though it shouldn't matter,
it
the
should
fact
matter.
that he's a white old guy does matter. It's sad. It really is. But it's the left we're talking about. They love identity politics. It's disgusting, but
Yeah, I mean, I think Bernie could get those on the left who aren't crazy.
Like
who
I
don't
think the Clinton type. I think the Clinton supporters would vote for Bernie, but we saw in 2016 Bernie supporters will not vote for Bernie. Actually, a lot of people who were going to vote for Bernie actually ended up voting for Jill Stein.
yeah, that's the thing. That's where I actually disagree. I think a lot of the younger generation, the college, liberals, and I think the older people, like the boomers who voted Democrat, a lot of the Hillary supporters actually will either not vote or won't vote for Bernie. Maybe an alternative, because I think, especially the older people,
The younger
have more.
generation.
Well, the younger generation, I think, will, because there's a lot of Bernie support, and
Yeah, and there's more
His
of them than.
biggest demographic is people in
there's
their
not
20s.
more younger people.
I'm pretty sure there is. I know birth rates are declining, but I think that's been a more recent thing. I might be wrong about this. I'm not.
Yeah, the world population is like not growing as fast.
Yeah,
It's
but I'm not
slowing
sure on
down.
the exact numbers. Yeah, it's
Maybe
slowing
that's
down.
good.
No, that's not good.
I think it's a good thing that the world population is
It's a
slowing down.
thing. Yeah, because basically two things will happen. Earth will either just overpopulate very soon, or will slow down, and our birth rate will.
So,
like,
do you
barely
think
be
it's a
over.
good thing that the population is exploding in India and China
Well,
Not
no,
necessarily.
because
and Africa too?
of course it's not a good thing, but
It's not good nor bad. Like there's negatives to it, but there's
Well,
also
it is a
positives.
competition,
How is it a
I'd say there are more
competition?
negatives.
because when there's a bunch of
See how
countries,
many-
and it's always a competition. America should stay number one, and it's important that we do. So declining birth rates is
yeah.
a problem,
Wait. Why is it important that America stays number?
because
reason.
we're Americans. retard.
Nationalism.
No.
Well,
I want to hear a legitimate reason.
Okay, because we hold freedom as our values, not China with communist ideals.
Well, it depends on who. We're
China
talking
isn't
about.
even okay. Whatever.
Okay.
You're gonna be like
Authoritarianly, yes.
I think Americans
co-
should, because I think America is the best. But if there's a valuable alternative and they take over with their
Yeah, because
methods,
we're the best country in the world. Period.
Yes, I agree with that.
Name one better country.
I'd say probably we're like
That's
we're kind of
Wait,
different
wait.
from everyone else.
Let me
but
guess.
I'd say-
Mark is gonna say anarchist Catalonia.
No, we're talking
No.
about a country right
We're
now.
talking
that's
about countries.
Current.
So
Yeah.
No, that's not a
I
country.
mean,
It's like
and me and
Pluto.
Holden could both probably agree their values to be found in Cuba, but I don't know. You'd probably be like, well, Cuba's.
I'm not gonna say. I'm not saying Cuba's the greatest country.
It's not the greatest country. There is no
So you guys
greatest
can't
country.
name
They're
a
all
country
bad.
that's better.
I
I'm
mean,
You guys
just
are just
not
scrambling.
going
Name
to.
one better country.
yeah.
There is no greatest country. There's to say that is
in an anarcho-communist
So you don't think the country that values human rights?
Goddamn, we're
the
back
best
to
country?
shitting on Mark. But
there is no best country. We value human rights, but what kind of loopholes are going to be
Compared
found in that kind of
Whoa.
in the Constitution that haven't already been found? We found so many.
Well,
What?
it's because we're comparing to
Not that
the
cut off.
alternatives.
Yeah,
A country
there
that sorry.
isn't
Sorry.
successful. No, sorry. No, if you wanted to say what you were going to say, I was just going to
No,
say that.
I mean
There's
a
really-
country that has opportunity of economic opportunity to really make yourself with starting a business, whatever it may be, compared to some countries that don't have the opportunity. That's why everyone wants to come here. That's why everyone's crossing the border because they realize Mexico sucks and then America's number one.
Yeah.
Why is it? I mean, why is it everyone wants to come here? Because we're the best in a lot of ways.
It's only some people in America get salty and then move to Canada.
Well,
and
that
then
was
they
mostly
stay in their house the whole time.
lying. Like, no one actually did.
Yeah,
I mean,
no one
maybe
actually
a
did that,
handful, but that's stupid.
Yeah,
That's
like
a meme.
that's kind of it.
They're just
Yeah.
saying that on Twitter for attention likes.
Yeah, that's like the only people who are like actively trying to leave America. Who are those people who we may or may not be better with them. Who knows?
But yeah, that's why America should stay number one. Because I would rather live under the American Constitution.
I think if another
China
country provides a good
or Russia.
alternative, then I'd be fine with a move. I mean, I'm proud of America, but I don't think any modern country provides competition. But if a country existed that did, I'd be fine with them taking over, as long as they
What?
similar values of liberty. They would just need to be similar to America. I'd be fine with that.
So
think,
if Russia renames themselves the United States of Russia, changes their constitution, you'd just lay down arms and go, "Welcome, our new masters. Thank you."
If they change their ideology, then
And then once they annex us, and then they just go on an oppressive regime. But that's fine. At least they're initially.
again, I'm saying things like America, like something similar to what we have here. Like, not just, well, not now, just pulling up in smaller countries that take them out. As long as it's similar to America, then all right. But again, values of liberty, like something similar to our Constitution. Then, I mean, sure, if there is really any point to it, I mean, having two countries like that would be nice, and I think that would actually be a benefit. And if the other country happened to be at a higher economic level than America, then that's fine. I accept that. I think America should be number one because right now there are no better alternatives. But if one appears, I have no problem with that.
I agree with you on that.
Well, if there's more alternatives, great. But I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be migrating there or
No, that's not what I was saying.
promoting them to annex and take over America. I mean,
That's not
is that
what
what
I
you're
was saying either.
Okay, sorry, I
That's what I'm
misunderstood you then.
Yeah, no, I was just saying like number one is in like how America is number one, just like number one world economy kind of protects everyone is the most important politically. Like I'd be fine with that. Actually, I wouldn't mind if a similar country came over and made America, that's important politically. Like have them take some of the stress so we can focus more inward instead of needing to focus on everyone else.
Do you have any
That'd be good.
like that could possibly get to that status?
If Switzerland does like the opposite of what they're doing now, I don't think they could fulfill the role that America does because of how Switzerland works. But
Wait, what are they doing now that you're talking about?
well, I mean, there are some minor.
Is Switzerland doing anything?
Yeah, that's kind of true. I mean,
Is Switzerland in
there
the
are a few
EU?
problems. I think I don't actually even no, they're not really going in any direction. Sorry, I take back what I said before. I think if Switzerland, possibly
the only
came-
thing bad about Switzerland is that they have incredibly high tax.
yeah, that's probably what they need to change. That's
But I think also in
realistically.
Switzerland they're offered. like through their taxes. I'm not fully aware because I don't fully pay attention to
Yeah,
Switzerland.
I'm not.
But I think
Yeah,
they
I
get a lot
mean,
out of it.
when you think about it, a lot of other places
Huh.
in the world that are first world countries have very high taxes. So
Yeah.
when you actually look at alternatives, it's one of the better alternatives to America. There are very
I'd
few of
probably
those.
consider
first,
when
Yeah,
like
if I was forced to move out of
Wow.
America, I would have just moved.
Switzerland's not in the EU. It's really
I know.
surprising.
Yeah.
I think
It's
it's good
because
that they're
they
not.
struck neutrality.
No, that's,
Again,
no,
I
that's
really
great.
like
That's awesome.
I really like that they have that struck neutrality.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
awesome.
it's something that Washington would come up with. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
is first world, second world, third world even like a valid comparison to make now? Because
Yeah. It's completely valid.
Yeah, because third world
it
countries
hasn't
are
really
the same.
been a thing to compare things to since the Cold War. Now we're only
Yes,
using
it
first,
has.
third.
Yes,
Are
it
you going to
has.
say
There's
it's
no
that's like
fair?
starving
world
children.
countries.
Okay. It's
Mark,
been
where
compared
we
to
are.
since 800 BC. Rome compared to, let's say, some African country. Rome's first world, and let's say,
Okay, well let me
I mean,
rephrase that.
Mark,
Have we been using the terms first or third world since Rome?
does
Yes.
no.
Yes.
I mean,
really?
we literally
no
just
because
used
English didn't exist.
Yeah, no.
that too. But,
Anyway. Just Mark, the idea that you saying that it doesn't the concept of first, second, and third world countries is valid. It's like saying that it's fair to compare the United States to like the Gambia, because there's multiple levels. And I think the whole idea of the three worlds is economic based.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, mostly. I'd say honestly.
like it's like that's why when you hear like Sanders talk, he has to say like I think he says the first world or in the Western world.
in the first war.
He says
He
something.
also uses the
and
1%
what he's
a
referring
lot.
to is he's referring to Europe, Canada.
Yeah, not he is
Yeah?
the 1%.
He's 1%. Yeah,
3%.
like here's the thing. I support Sanders because I believe he's a step in the right direction for me. But like, if I had to choose between him and an actual socialist, I would choose an actual socialist.
Such as.
Well, that's the thing. There aren't any.
Yeah.
Like I can't name a single person in the Socialist Party of the USA because it's not big enough for me to even do research on because it is irrelevant. Like
Yeah, because we don't have a socialist party.
we do actually.
The closest thing we have that's like
No,
matters.
we do have a Socialist Party.
Well, we do, but it doesn't matter.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
The closest thing we have, the
Thank
one
God.
that matters, is the Green Party. But that even then, like
The
the
Greens.
third party vote is a wasted vote.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
That's
Yeah.
why
We went over
like-
this in the last debate.
Yeah, even if that was that was
I don't even remember the last debate.
empirical.
I don't remember any of our
Like-
debates.
on the idea of
mostly
like third
stupid
parties,
shit.
like
We need to send you to a memory care facility.
there are some people who can do really well as a third party or as an independent. I mean, look at Bernie. He's an independent in Vermont. Like he's been an independent for like
Oh,
ever
yeah.
in Vermont. But
No, that's a good
And I
point.
think,
You can
like-
grow an independent.
and I think there was a really famous libertarian from New Mexico. I cannot remember. I think it was Gary Johnson was from New Mexico, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he was from New Mexico,
Sure,
and
you don't have-
like there are certain people who can rise above that two-party system.
Yeah, but not.
But like for the most part,
And then assign a satanic
Yeah, I was talking on a
contract
presidential
against
scale rather than.
there are like I personally believe that we should get rid of party system in general because I think that there are more flaws to it than pros. I don't want to go into
Yeah.
that right now.
you. What do you mean by
Yeah,
that?
I don't want to either
Okay, then don't go into that.
because
But-
I think I might agree with you. Maybe
I
for
think
different reasons.
The one benefit
Holden,
to
I
have-
feel like you support a one-party state.
no, I don't.
Okay.
Okay, then yeah, I think.
Now that
I
we've
think
gotten
this
that out of
might
the way.
be where me and
Here's the
Holden.
thing: I support a one-party state in the idea that the one party is independent. But
Yeah,
like, I would
the
say
one
that the
party, they're
biggest-
not being a state, or they're not being a party.
I feel like the only big benefit to having parties is being able to associate with the group and people being, oh, this
Giving
person
people
is
the
a
choice.
this. Yeah, this person is a this. That gives me a general understanding of what he's about. And obviously, like Bernie, like for president, he runs as a Democrat.
Those are stereotypes.
Well, yeah, those are stereotypes, but like if I
Yeah.
told you somebody was a Democrat, you're gonna have a basic understanding of what they're about.
Yeah, I would assume they're retarded. Just kidding.
Okay,
Um,
but you know what I
can't stay
mean.
much
Like,
longer, guys.
you're gonna have a general understanding of what the person stands for. Obviously, if you want to actually know what they stand for, you're gonna have to do research, like a normal
No, that's
person
true.
would.
yeah,
But, like,
I mean,
It's because
not
Like,
like
if
a
you tell
normal
someone
they
is a
all vote for
Republican,
the same thing.
like, if you say somebody's a Republican, you're probably gonna imagine taxes, stronger immigration, less gun control. If you say somebody's a Democrat, they're probably gonna say less immigration control, less gun control, or more gun control. Sorry, and higher taxes to go do healthcare, roads, etc. Like, it's
I
just
missed the debate totally, didn't I?
Nope, we're
pretty
still
much.
going.
Okay, so did we? Are we still doing California or?
Nope.
No.
no, we moved on.
we yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of just like it came down
Do you have any
to
other
like a
topics?
disagreement on whether to get.
How long have I been here for?
So you guys already
You?
did it. So we're moving on to now.
Like a second.
Well, check the polls if we had anything.
I don't think we had any poll.
I don't remember a poll, but also
There is none.
I generally don't vote in the polls. I kind of let whatever happens happen.
We already talked about imperialism.
Pokemon, go to the polls.
Ba-dun,
Disgusting.
dun,
Yeah,
dun,
Pokemon go to your house.
dun, dun,
I want to
dun.
make a compilation of all dumb things Clinton said. Like, Pokemon go to the polls, and, like, America is great because America is good. Just, like,
Yeah, I feel like it,
there are
kind
so
of-
many gold quotations from that 1 year alone. Like, oh,
Holden exists. Trust me.
Huh?
Literally, just look it up. It exists.
what exists?
That the video you're looking for. Trust
Oh
me,
my god.
it exists.
I will
I was
fall
thinking
asleep
of,
to
like-
that. It's like ASMR.
That's
was
what
thinking-
I said.
I was like in the shower and I thought, what if I did a video about like a Ben Shapiro debate, like one of those Ben Shapiro Rex College liberal or whatever. But every time he does a logical fallacy, it gets faster, and then like no one would know like who I'm. People
But in
wouldn't be like,
reality,
okay,
it's just
so
Shapiro.
Mark, I'm not going to say this way, but I do not believe that you would be able to pick out accurate logical fallacy.
maybe not. But I mean, it's not
Yeah.
doing it seriously. It's like a thing that I want to do because I'm bored. Maybe because the way like the hit film does weird. It's weird when it comes to speeding things up. I'm probably just going to do like
Wait, no.
Um,
You want to
get
know
out
who
of my
you should
5 decibels.
You want to know who you should do if you do that?
Huh.
Steven Crowder, because he makes like hour-long videos about those.
Yeah, that would be better. Steven
Because, like,
Carter's.
I mean, I just like some of Steven Crowder's videos because I think he brings up good points. I don't agree with him on a lot, obviously, but I do respect him.
Actually, I just want to talk about them for a second as someone
Oh,
who
yeah, go ahead.
like got into politics through them. Steven
Yeah.
Crowder isn't actually that smart. He's a good start, but like once you start actually learning anything about politics, like you can kind of stop watching him. And it's kind of the same thing with Ben Shapiro, but like sometimes
I
he
think-
says things that are worth like acknowledging. But a lot of the times,
Like-
like I don't watch Ben Shapiro that much anymore. Like sometimes, and I never watch Crowder anymore.
There's definitely a
watch
reason
Crowder.
he got popular, and I think it's because the things they say are so basic that they can interest you.
Yeah.
But you know, there was a time when I was considering if I was a Republican, and I think how far I've come just goes to show that.
Yeah, obviously you're not a Republican right now.
Like,
Yeah,
there was. Like,
It's a Republican left com.
there's. I don't
Yeah,
know where
I
I was
mean-
going with that.
Like I'm kind of similar. Like there was a time where the closest like political identity I fit into was like some like very minor form of fascist, like one of the light versions of that. Like where I was like
Any
center
type
of
of
the center of the
nationalism?
right
Wait,
left spectrum.
Have
like,
you guys
slightly
heard of
up on the
vermin supreme?
authoritarian scale.
Do
And
you
no,
guys know
wait,
what
you're
vermin
sorry.
supreme is?
Guys, I'm gonna dip. I can't.
Okay.
I gotta get to the gym. My dad's waiting for me. So I'm gonna go lift some weights. I'll see you nerds later. No, I'm joking. Love you guys. See ya.
Right.
All right.
So, please tell me you guys have Supreme.
Of what?
What?
So, Vermin Supreme is a person who runs for president like every year. I don't think he's running this year. He ran in 2008 and he ran in 2012. And in 2012, I don't know how long he's actually said this, but he calls himself a friendly fascist. And he runs for the Democrats. And he wears a boot on his head, wants to give every American a pony, threw glitter on someone because he said Jesus told him to make him gay. He calls himself a friendly fascist. He wants to institute authoritarian dental hygiene laws. Like,
Oh,
he's
God.
obviously doing it just as a joke. Like,
Yeah.
this man does not want to be president. But it's
Imagine if he got
I mean,
elected,
yeah.
it'd just be like, oh shit, what have I done?
Yeah. Like,
Well, that also show where America is right now.
I don't think it's as major as your change from like Republican to socialist, but like I used to be like you know where the average like Green Party member, like that's the best way I can visualize
Yeah.
it is. Like them,
Oh,
the center of the left
I was-
right.
I was never
Slightly
a Republican.
authoritarian.
I was just considering, like,
Yeah.
I kind of agree with, like, some of Trump's immigration. Like,
I mean,
this
yeah,
was,
that's
like,
how I used to be too. Like
This
there was a
like
time
2015, like, when he was saying, we should stop bringing drugs from Mexico. And I was like, yeah, okay, maybe I'm a
Yeah.
Republican. Like, now I'm like,
Like-
oh.
something about being an anti-vaxxer, Mark.
My uncle's an anti-vaxxer.
Oh yeah, that. Like in 2016, like I was 2016, 2017, I was like on the authoritarian end of things. And like I've gone from like barely right libertarian back to kind of where I was when I really got into politics, where I'm very far right and decently libertarian. Like
I'm pretty libertarian. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think most of us on the server are.
I'm
Like,
super
I'm-
libertarian, obviously. But I mean,
Yeah, except
Probably-
GI is literally the only one.
like
except I say dumb
Well,
shit. So
Reed is, like, somewhat authoritarian.
Oh
Like-
well, yeah.
and we have a
Because he
fascist
thinks
on
that-
here.
There has to be, like,
Yeah.
discipline and
Yeah,
We
you
don't.
guys in
order
the
with
chat
this.
right now.
Like,
Not saying anything.
I know Non-Compete made a video where saying libertarian socialism and anarcho-communism are the same thing. In my opinion, they aren't.
Yeah,
That's a little iffy for me.
And
I
very
don't even know
close.
that much about socialism, and I know that that's not.
it's completely
Probably
fine because
not.
I've been studying it for 2.5 years, and most of it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me because there's so many different factions, and they're all relatively the same.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's
Like,
another.
I did
thing.
not know what left communism. Like, this
Like-
Hey,
Libertarian socialism
you can
in
talk
my-
like in debate now.
like libertarian socialism, based on my interpretation of it.
Probably just gonna
It's
say the
just-
N word.
What?
I'm probably just gonna say the N word. Oh, should I done?
Why doesn't he have the shit poster?
I don't know. Because that's like a punishment rule, and he hasn't done
Oh.
anything inherently bad on the server.
Okay, and that's why.
So, like, if you have it, you can't post. You can't like type in any channels except shit poster, but you can see them. Then you have the condemned rule, which you can only see like the discipline channels. And these
Oh,
are
okay.
the only ones you can type
so
in,
that's
so
why
the mods
he
can
has
deal
Meme
with you.
Machine. I guess none of us have gotten to that. But know how serious.
And
it was.
meme machine is just like for people who post a lot of memes. So
I mean, like,
Wait.
I'm kind of a shit poster.
Is
Well,
you
um
don't go here that much.
Well, I
are
was only in
Discord
chat.
roles the same as are Discord roles like the internet's form of social classes?
Wait a minute.
Okay, let's get
Wait
back
a
into-
minute.
Just one.
Wait a minute.
Abolish all Discord roles.
Yeah, there we
Please
go.
no. It helped me so much.
Discord anarchy.
But actually, no. I actually
What the?
really
Oh,
like
here.
roles in
Oh,
different roles.
heresy.
I
Let's
think they
start
actually
the
do a lot more.
micronation.
That's
Let's
Fucking
start a
heretics.
I'm
micronation
turning you up,
for the
Holden, because I
internet.
can, like barely hear you.
Heretics.
What do you need me, Len?
Oh, nothing. I turned you up, so
Oh,
I hear you more because you're very quiet for me. You're louder than everyone else for me. No, you're just on the same level as everyone else.
Now I'm just really loud. I'm really loud.
Oh my
anyways.
god.
What the fuck?
Oh god, I'm scared because it still says you're playing Minecraft, Mark.
I'm not even sure. If
I
my
know
mic's
it's because
still
launcher's
working.
open, and I've been playing Minecraft
okay.
for 5 hours, but I haven't because I've had the launcher open for 5 hours.
Huh. My friend played Minecraft for 2 hours straight. Actually, not 2 days straight.
I feel that.
I'm
playing
fucking
Minecraft for
lagging.
666 years. Let's talk about religion.
No, I don't want to
Can
do
we?
that.
Can we
I
don't?
don't want to do
Can
that.
don't?
Can we don't? We should don't.
Can we don't?
Can
We should
don't.
not. 'Cause
You're
I
right,
feel
we
like
should don't.
I feel like that's
Can
one of the
don't.
debates where I'll just get bullied.
So I'm just gonna yell about Jews.
Oh God. Yeah, let's maybe not talk about religion.
Yeah, well,
The
it
Like,
sounds
no,
cool,
Mark's
but we're a politics channel.
I don't want Mark's YouTube channel to get a strike.
Oh, well.
We should ask the Jewish.
I'll just
question.
say, like, it's kind of weird. Okay, and that's not... And if I get a strike because of that, then, like, fuck YouTube.
Like,
I mean,
I
fuck
think
YouTube. Like,
in
just in
my
general.
perfect
like,
society,
yeah, right now, yeah.
religion would still exist. It just wouldn't exist in a public space. And like,
Allah is the only true God.
Like, get the fuck out. In my perfect world, it would only be Protestants.
In my perfect world, there would be no religion, because
joking.
religion is a ghost of the mind. Okay, enough egoism for me.
the opium of the masses.
In my
religion
world,
is a
we will have
spook.
a new religion called
I was making a joke
Weebism.
about Protestant supremacy. See, the interesting thing is, I think if we had, like, not really a political debate, but if we just had to talk about religion, you'd think I was
Philosophical debate.
I'm one of the very
I'm pretty
few-
sure we're just gonna fuck around when it comes to religion.
Yeah, like, you'd think because I'm religious, I would actually know that much, but I don't really know because I haven't been to church in, like, years. I would just bring my dad on and he would story.
I haven't been to church in ever.
Can
You know,
I just say
probably
one
would
thing?
go to.
Oh, what do you want to say, Holden?
I believe that using the Bible and like people legitimately do this. People sometimes use the Bible as a source for religion being like as proof of God. When I would say no, that's not a proof.
That's,
That's
like-
just your.
I was
source.
talking to my religious...
I just use the Bible as a weapon.
Yeah, you throw it at
throw
someone.
books at...
Well, yeah,
was
it's
talking-
literally just using a book as a weapon. Like, it's not that hard.
I was talking to my Christian friend a long time ago. I'm like, okay, so the Bible, right? Who was that? Like, if this is like, where does it come from? And it's like, he said it's from God's servants who brought it down. I'm like, okay, so where does it say that in the Bible? There's okay. You can't. That just you have your source of where it comes from in the Bible.
Yeah, I mean, that's
is
why
that
I
your
always say
evidence?
that the disciples got it. They acquired it somehow, whether or not they wrote it or they actually got it from the heavens. Is
I
something
know
we'll
the
never know.
Bible's real because the Bible says so.
Yeah, like
God's
I
will
don't
is
use that.
nothing. Fuck you.
I'd say the biggest reason I'm religious is just because I feel like that there's a bit lacking in the scientific aspect. I'd definitely be open if a stronger explanation could be given. I have a problem believing that the Earth could survive for this long without being completely destroyed, and that humanity can survive to the point where we can just defend ourselves against asteroids without the help of some divine being. I just don't believe in luck that much.
It's also like Jupiter.
God is
Jupiter
dead. Miracles are all lies. That's why Africans are starving.
Jupiter just sucks up asteroids, though.
Yeah.
But
If we would have gone extinct if it weren't for Jupiter. In fact, the true comrade here is Jupiter. That should be the new
even with that,
religion.
but that's from one direction. Like Jupiter can only.
One
I
direction.
still. It's just like
There's also the sun.
I don't. The sun. Yeah, the sun too. I still, even with those factors, I just don't believe in our luck that much. I don't believe that somehow that.
And they're also quite. Asteroids are quite. Asteroids are quite far away too. So the fact that they even leave the asteroid belt seems just kind of.
Still, like again, I don't believe in the luck of humanity that much. When you've actually looked at what's happened to us, like I can't. When you consider
I see your point, but like I wasn't raised to be religious, so like my mom always like Jesus and God, but like I was like okay, because we never went to church, so I never received it. And I only started looking into religion like as a serious thing in the past couple of years, and it's just I see what has happened as is more likely than the idea that God exists and he created the earth and he's protecting us. I see that is less likely, but I could see how you would say, oh, well, all of this has happened there has to be a reason for this, and that is God.
Ironically, my religion comes from my cynicism. Like, that's funny when you think about it.
What's funny?
That my religion comes from my cynicism, that I don't believe that humans could survive this long, and that's why I'm religious.
Cynicism
But it's not-
it's so much fun being a cynic. Like,
I know, just being like, the worst thing will always happen.
especially ancient cynicism, like Diogenes. I
Yeah,
love
because
Diogenes.
the ancient times were really messed up. Like,
Oh shit, did it disconnect?
people talking, because I can't hear anyone right now.
I wasn't talking, but like it cut out for me too. Like I couldn't hear anyone.
Oh
Okay.
shit, yeah, I'm lagging. That's not nice.
Because I know somebody was saying something. I just don't remember who they were, and I didn't hear the end of their sentence.
Oh yeah, I think I was just saying that the ancient times were messed up, and that's why ancient cynicism is so fun.
Catholicism's weird. Anyway, the way
I agree with
kind
that.
of-
As a Protestant, yeah, Catholics suck.
yeah, let's not get taxed because like God, and also
Yeah, I
let's
know.
let's have people buy
You know
their
what
way
the
out of hell.
weirdest-
Wait,
Because hell
You know what the
exists.
How
weirdest
did we
thing
start
is?
talking about taxes?
Taxes?
just,
Excuse me, sir.
There's just the whole idea like all churches do not get taxed.
I think we should try. I think we should tax churches.
Yes,
like- They should contribute to society.
yes, they're doing
like-
nothing more than like being there and
And I get that contribute
Indoctrination.
to society in a like an emotional way. Like people go to church if they need comfort, but I think like economically, they should contribute.
I think church leaders should pay taxes, but when you actually look at, like, what does the government? We literally have a
No, that's
system of government that is designed so that the state does not help religion, and the religion does not help state. So I that's my biggest no in that case, is just that we're
Yeah,
supposed to
I
keep
can see
separate when
that.
we want to.
But at the same time, like I don't see taxation as benefiting a church. If I'm honest, like I think that would be a setback.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You're taking their money, of course it would, and they get nothing back because they can't get anything back. The
Yeah.
state cannot give them things, so I don't think that the state should take things away. The reason we pay taxes as citizens is because the government, in theory, should be doing good things for us. Doesn't always happen, but But the state cannot, the church cannot receive any help from the state, so the state should receive no help from the church. I do not want any bond with that. I do not want, even if it's forced, I want no connection between that. That causes problems. Historically, that has caused problems. There's a reason that for the longest time, Catholics and Protestants hated each other. I don't want that to happen again. I don't want anything like that. I mean, I show Catholics a lot, but I don't actually hate Catholics.
The way I
think
was raised
Catholicism
around
is
religion.
cool.
Most of the
I
Protestant
especially
churches
love
are
the
better.
fathers.
Be quiet. I think there are some
Daddy, am I right?
Wait, stop. No, illegal.
I think I think there are a few insane Protestant branches, but those of us who aren't insane, like the Anglicans, they take like the Catholic Church actually believes that like when we're receiving communion that we're actually like getting the body and blood of
Can you not-
Christ.
I don't think
And
they
it's like-
actually believe that. Like
well,
I've been
that's what they say.
GI,
I've been
can
to
you
Catholic
stop?
churches. Like yeah, they say it, but it's like an analogy.
Yeah, I mean even, but
They
yeah,
don't actually believe they're eating the body of Jesus.
I think the way I was raised around religion. The way I was raised around religion, basically, I wasn't able to talk because I was talking to my grandma. But let's get back to the thing we were talking about 10 minutes ago. Anyway, yeah, the way I was raised around religion was, I wasn't explicitly being told you got to be religious and go to church. I've never been to church, maybe a couple times. I don't remember anything, and it wasn't significant. Anyway, church was like, I remember my grandma just basically just saying Christian-y stuff around me. And for a while, I was like, God probably exists, maybe. In second grade, I was accused of not believing in God. Holy shit. And then in third grade, I finally said to my grandma, hey, I think I'm not religious. It's like, okay. And then I've only gone further down the rabbit hole of atheism since. Except now I'm a atheist.
My dad's a priest.
Your dad's a what?
Yeah.
Priest.
Oh,
Yeah.
a priest.
Sorry, I'll be right up.
Apparently,
I hear a lot of
Marx
wind.
was indifferent to religion.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently Marx was indifferent to the idea of religion.
Yeah, I'm
I hear a
indifferent
lot
to
of
it too.
blowing.
Like,
I'm
if-
highly
if
skeptical of it, but I mean, you can do it. You can be
You
religious.
can't stand for liberty and say at the same time that religion shouldn't exist.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that can be my opinion, but it doesn't have to be put into effect.
Jesus Christ.
Been doing this minimalist abstract painting since we started. Not painting, it's a digital art piece, but oh well. Anyway, yeah. Any other topics?
I don't have anything.
Well, I think we've already discussed Article 13 in the past episode.
Yeah, I believe we have.
And since there are an even amount of capitalists and socialists or leftists
Wait, are there? Wait, on
Yeah,
the
there-
server? On the
in the voice chat right now, there's a
Oh.
fascist and a right libertarian, and then there's me and you on the left. So, since we're both even on this, here's a thing. Let's talk about something we all radically disagree with each other on. Communism, go.
communism
great.
is communism is good, but I think libertarian socialism is more realistic.
Yeah, well, I'm saying
I would
I
say that
support, like, I'm
communism
saying
would
leftism
take
in general.
hundreds of years to be fully implemented according to the
Did I
texts.
hear an ideology that could theoretically work?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Who said
heard something about the text, and are we talking about religion again?
I don't
No,
know.
we're talking about communism.
I know, I'm just
Oh,
I was
okay.
trying to be funny for the recording.
Communism actually is my religion. Marx is my
Yeah.
god, and I pray to him.
Communism is my
Kropotkin-
city.
I mean, just
Kropotkin
look
is
at
my
that
god.
beard. Okay,
Kropotkin has a nice beard too.
I just came up with this,
Communism is
and I
pretty.
think Mark will agree with me. The easiest way to explain the split between authoritarian communists, libertarian socialists in general, and anarchists is like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. They're both based on
Hi.
they're both based on very similar things.
Hey, you're
Am I
hey,
echoing to somebody?
you're echoing.
Yeah, I know I am.
I
don't know why.
that's
No,
so loud. That is actually
Okay,
very
seriously,
loud.
I'm going
dislike
to
it.
mute you.
Yeah,
I dislike that.
Okay, he's muted.
until he can fix himself.
Oh, and he left.
Everybody's
Oh,
echoing.
that's a rip.
Probably
Is it
edited.
better?
Is it fixed?
He's not on here.
Yes.
So
Okay, it's fixed.
anyway, back to
So
this.
basically,
What the fuck?
like, the easiest way for me to explain like why, like, there's the authoritarian left, the not necessarily authoritarian but necessarily libertarian left, and then the like super libertarian left. It's like Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. How they're all three of them are based on like the same thing, and they all have like the same God, but these stands for different things. Like, and for example, that same God is Marx. Like, they're
Well-
Do they all
like-
hate each other?
Sometimes.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I hate tank.
it's kind of a joke that like MLs won't work with ANCOM in the leftist community.
Ooh, we're a community now. We're getting somewhere.
Injaku.
In an anarcho-communist society, there are no
Shut up.
communities.
Honestly, I
Yeah,
feel like
that is
the
the
phrase in I feel like the phrase in
I
an
use it too
anarcho-
much. Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Let me say what I'm gonna say. I feel like the phrase in an anarcho-communist society is the funniest thing on this server because we all say it.
Why?
We all say it
Why?
like when it should not fit into the conversation, and we all say it sarcastically.
That's
as
the
a
joke.
remark, and we all
Why
know
is it funny though?
because you say it all the time when you
Yes,
don't
and
need to. We
the
all
thing
know
about
you're an
It's just that-
anarcho-communist.
It's
The one,
it's a mannerism that I have
the
now.
one thing we can all come together on, except you, Mark, is shitting on you. That's the
Yes.
only thing.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I shit on myself.
That's
Sometimes
the
I shit-
true
I mean, yeah.
libertarian.
Sometimes I shit on myself.
That's
We
what
need
brings
left
us
unity.
all.
Ew,
You
Mark,
shitted.
no.
It's just us.
Right, you
making fun of
shitted.
You.
You know what I mean. Stop being an asshole.
Shitted.
Never.
I shitted and farted.
You
That's an
fucking
old-
shitted.
Yeah, I think if we're
Uh,
gonna do something like it's big as
Today.
socialism versus capitalism, I think we need more people. Like even if it is.
I'm saying since we're both even
Yeah,
on here.
probably. I would
We need more
honestly
leftists.
prefer- Okay, if we're going to talk about socialism versus capitalism, I would want Reed to be on here because
Yeah.
Yeah, but he does his VC thing isn't working for some reason.
hold on. The reason I want Reed to be on here for that is because Reed is off left. I'm basically on the border. Like I don't really have an opinion on the state, basically, except on the border of off and left
Lib.
libertarian.
No, I was just saying lib because it's stupid.
You dang libs.
Yeah, that's
Like-
what I was saying.
What's this?
Okay, I get it. Like I don't really have an opinion on the state except for it shouldn't be authoritarian. And then Mark is just like,
No, stay bad, stay
So, like,
Nazi.
if Reed was here, you'd have like all three main opinions on it.
Yeah. I just want to make sure taxation is theft is Sean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sean
okay. I think that would also be interesting to have him on here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Just like I feel like that would be an interesting
He
duo.
actually brings up a lot of good points about anarcho-capitalism because he's not an ANCAP, he's an anarchist because he has problems with ANCAP. But
Yeah, he's the closest thing we have to
and
that.
he actually kind of made me realize some things about ANCAP that like I didn't realize before. And
ANCAP bingo. I need to post the ANCAP bingo every time like they make a dumb argument. It's on there and it's on there. You can check it off. You get a bingo. I don't know. You get a bingo.
I would want to play that.
Anyway, here you go. Anarcho-capitalist bingo. All government is the
That would
same.
be fun.
Social contract doesn't exist. Taxes are slavery. America is communist. Whatever the state can do, the market does better. My NAP, capitalism is a flawless.
Wait, what is NAP?
Non-aggression principle. Basically, it's this thing that like ANCAPs and like right libertarians want you to believe will work with no incentive that like people will follow it. Especially with anarcho-capitalism, it'll be feudalism. That's what's gonna happen. Capitalism is a flawless system. Okay, we're off topic.
Wait, do they actually say that economic classes don't exist?
Well, no,
Then why would
I
it be on
don't-
the bingo?
You're stupid.
it isn't on there. It says the social contract doesn't exist.
No, it does say that.
All government is the same. Taxes are slavery. America is communist. Whatever the state can do, the market does better. But NAP, capitalism is a flawless system. We're incorporated.
It's in the second to last row.
I don't think anyone
Oh.
actually says capitalism is a flaw.
Class hierarchy isn't a state. Oh wait, no.
Does
Economic.
anyone
class
actually
doesn't
say
exist.
capitalism is flawless?
Yes. We can.
I mean,
Even you can
that's
probably
true,
agree.
though.
Yeah, that's just. Hopefully.
I mean, yeah, capitalism is flawless, but I still think it's the best for what we have. We don't have any better alternatives.
Like I
Right.
feel like something like capitalism versus communism is a better debate topic for me because I
Here's
think
the thing.
I'm a bit
Capitalism
better with
versus
theory.
communism. I think it should be socialism versus capitalism because in both factions.
How about leftism versus rightism?
No, because rightism is like
Right,
socialism.
You know what I mean.
Because radical
Socialism
changes are
is the
worse than
actual
liberals.
umbrella term. Like
That's true, I guess.
communism
Yeah,
is a
that's what
very
they-
specific socialism, and it's like there's different forms of capitalism. It's like there's different forms of socialism.
Like I think anarcho-capitalists are like they're way too extreme. Like I've
Just
talked
stupid.
about my opinions on
They're
extreme
stupid,
beliefs
I'm just gonna-
before, and I can't get behind extreme beliefs. Like
Yeah.
like I'm just not into that. Okay, sorry, I gotta go. My family's yelling at me because we're eating dinner. So
Oh, all right.
okay, bye guys.
I'm gonna dip then too.
Okay, bye.
Bye, gang.
Okay.
Have fun, Mark, with the fascist.
Heh. I don't know if he's gonna say
Don't make them
anything
all
other than
really
memes. GI, you're weird. You're weird. Okay, well, since GI is weird, that will be the end of our amazingly coherent fucking debate thing that I made some dumb points on.
I have one more thing to say.
What? Ah!